The headlines are still sinking in for Robert Smith. Turns out the woman he once believed murdered his cousin isn't guilty of anything except self-defense. He says reading about his cousin's death is like reliving what happened here all over again.
I came outside and I saw him run across the street. Then he ran back over here and sat down on the steps. And he didn't call anybody by name. He just said, "She got me, cuz." I said, "Hold on, man." I said, I'm going to get some help. And he said, "I ain't gonna be here when you get back, cuz." And then he just died.
Smith says it's hard to know exactly what happened between his cousin, Keon Dale, and his cousin's girlfriend back in March of 2013. While the memories of what Smith saw here are hard to erase, Smith says he forgives the woman who claims she stabbed his cousin out of self-defense.
No, the girl, I just wish her well, and, I don't have any, ill feelings towards her where I want to kill her, nothing like that. I just... hope she's, even though it's a negative situation, I hope she's gotten something positive out of it, where some kind of way.
When I woke up, I opened the door, and it was a whole stairwell full of fire.
Elijah is one of the twins who escaped the home fire unharmed.
I was nervous and scared. I felt like I was dreaming. I never thought of this.
Elijah says he jumped out of this window and he landed on this porch. He says he wanted to go back inside to save his sister, but she had already jumped out of another window. The twins ran down the street to their cousin's house to call 911, but when fire rescue arrived, their mother, Christina Lewis, was still trapped inside the home. Crews were able to get her out of the home, and she was rushed to Iowa City hospitals with burn and smoke inhalation injuries.
Her lungs got really damaged in there, so they just trying to get her lungs healed up so she can breathe on her own.
Susan Williams says Lewis also needs skin grafts. The first round didn't take, so doctors are trying again.
She's fighting right now. She's fighting to be here for her kids.
While most family come together for turkey and conversation, this family is hoping they don't lose their mother. Her children are staying with other family members until she can leave Iowa City in January and enter rehabilitation treatment at Covenant.
We're just doing what we need to do to keep her spirits. We don't want her to have to worry about anything right now.
Don't want to be out here again.
For Kevin Butler, he says his grandson was taken from him far too soon.
18 years, just to remember 18 years. I want to remember 40, 50, 60 years.
Daquan Campbell was 18 years old when he was murdered. Now, Butler, along with dozens of other family members and friends, are remembering the teen who they say always had a smile on his face.
He touched a lot of people's lives, their children's lives, mom and dad's lives. He just touched everybody.
Campbell's family says he had a bright future. He graduated from high school and started taking classes at Hawkeye Community College. Now, his family is planning his funeral.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else. I don't want anybody's family to go through what we just went through. I just want peace.
And that was the message heard here Sunday night. Campbell's family pleading for the violence to stop.
It's time for us to come together as a community, and it's time for our young people to pull their pants up, to be a man, pull your pants up to be a woman, and talk things out, because we see now that gun violence is not solving anything.
The hope is for anyone with information to come forward so justice will be served. As for now, Butler has this to say.
You haven't spoke to him in a while, just call him and say, "I love you." Make sure you do, because one day you might not be able to do that.
As you can see, there are already hundreds of people gathered here at the movie site for this weekend's event, and I'm joined now by KWWL's Lauren DeWitt. Lauren was here earlier today in Dyersville. Lauren, you say people in the area have been preparing for this for a long time.
That's right. More than 11,000 people are expected to go to Dyersville in the next 2 days, and that's more than double of Dyersville's population. Now, volunteers have been working all week on the Field of Dreams to prepare it for that crowd, along with many area businesses. Country Junction owners say they could already... Now, the Country Junction is also hoping that some celebrities stop by this weekend. They tell me that Kevin Costner and other stars that were in the movie used to eat there.
Oh, that's so fun. A lot of people around here on high alert for movie stars this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Thank you.
The event will kick off this evening at 8 o'clock with opening remarks from Governor Terry Branstad, who, by the way, was governor back when this movie was filmed.
We have people milling around. The decorations are up. Just a beautiful evening. And now joining me is Leanne Saul. You are the head of the Hoopla Committee, correct?
Absolutely. They call me the chief hoo herder.
And thank you for letting me borrow the scarf. I do appreciate it. So you've been out here all day, of course, getting ready for the annual event. What's the best part about tonight?
Actually, the best part is the kids' face when they see Santa come.
And he is expected just before 7:30. And again,
you might see Olaf and you might see Elsa, some penguins, some elves, maybe even Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And there's actually going to be kind of a mini marching parade down the street when Santa does arrive. Kind of tell me about that.
Well, the band WAG plays, and we have lots of great vocalists, singers, lots of fun Christmas songs. And then once Santa arrives, he gets on his sleigh. We do the magical march down Main to light the Christmas tree. And we're usually done and out of here by 8 o'clock, so don't miss the show. Get down here.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Leanne, for your time. And again, Holiday Hoopla will start here in just a little more than 30 minutes. It's planned to go from 6 to 8 o'clock tonight, and we'll have more coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. We've got you covered live in Cedar Falls. Allie Crutcher, KWW.
Not yet been caught.
You're exactly right, Amanda. One person was injured in this shooting, and there's actually a lot of graphic details that it happened right around here. We won't show those because they're a little graphic, as I said. The person, the victim, he's expected to survive, but police say the shooter is still out there. Police say the victim was out walking his dog when he was shot in a lower extremity. They say the victim is a man in his 20s, but can't describe the suspect yet. Police can't confirm if the suspect was on foot or in a vehicle. The victim is being treated at an area hospital and is expected to survive. The motive for this shooting is still unclear at this point. Now, police tell me that they don't know yet if the victim and the shooter knew each other. I asked if there was any danger to the public, and they said that the shooter is still out there, and that's all they could say at this point. We're live in Waterloo tonight.